guys, welcome back. It's Josh with the Financial Advisor Car Guy. This week we're back working on the 1955 Ford. I've got a car show literally next week, and I'm really trying to piece the interior back together. And so I know I promised you guys an update on those doors, and they are still coming together. I actually have to remove the doors to do the weather stripping. So when I do that, I think I'll wrap that video up, and that'll come a little bit later on. I have been working on it. The doors are painted and everything. In fact, the entire interior has now been painted, and I'm just getting back to reassembly. So literally on the floor right next to me, I have my headliner, which I'm trying to get to lay flat, and my carpet kit. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do the carpet. I feel like this truck probably never had carpet in it, and there's no mounting places, there's no holes for trim to hold the carpet edges down or any of that stuff. So I might have to get creative. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that. I'm actually gonna work on that probably tomorrow or the next day. But tonight's episode, or today's episode, is what I've been working on this evening, is the door cards. So let me paint the picture, right? So I bought these door cards. Now they're pre-fabbed, right? They're handles for the window and for the door. And then these holes all the way around are for the clips, the mounting clips. And it's kind of this glossy, fancy cardboard is really what it is. I had some extra sound deadener, and so I did throw a sheet on the back, thinking that that might help, keep this from rattling against the door. It'll help with sound buffering and all the stuff. So I did throw a small sheet on each of these door cards, but I wasn't really thrilled with the quality of them. I mean, looking at them, they are kind of thick cardboard. I could have bought metal ones. I could have bought wooden ones. I didn't realize that these were going to be as not great quality as they are. They would absolutely work. Please don't get me wrong. They were $50 and they're pre-cut, designed to just snap on. So they were 50 bucks. And then the bag of the little clips was another 20. So $70, and that does both doors. So anyway, I was getting ready to kind of mount these up today. And I remembered that I had a little bit of carpet left from a million years ago when I did my Ford Fairlane. I bought some black universal carpeting, and I wrapped the door cards in that car, and I used some on the dashboard, I believe the back dash. Maybe I had to reupholster the back dash, and so I used this stuff. And it's truly like just black automotive grade. It's like speaker box carpet. This is the last of what I have here, and it's just enough to do this one door card. Anyway, long story short, it wasn't very expensive and I already had it. So I decided, let me see if I have enough. And if I do, I'll just wrap both of these door cards to give them a little pizzazz. They're gonna look a little nicer. And so what I wanna walk you guys through is how I did this. So here is essentially the finished product. You can see, it looks the same as the other one, but this is carpet, not cardboard. In fact, let's do this and see if you guys can see the difference. Yeah, I mean, this is way more glossy and looks like cardboard. This is carpeted. Now you can see the little dots down the line there. Those are going to be the mounting brackets. Now, when it's perfectly vertical, you can't see them, but when you catch them in the light, yeah, you can kind of see them. I decided to try to hide those underneath the carpet, and I don't know if I love it or not, but it is what it is. So again, I already had all this stuff, so it didn't cost me anything to do this upgrade, if you will. Now, I'm gonna show you guys the back of this and I'll walk you through the process. So what I did was I cut the carpet to give me maybe 1.5 to 2 inches of slack all the way around the trim, or around the edge of the door card. Again, this one has some insulation on the back, but basically what I did was I poked all the mounting snaps through, and then I laid my carpet out. Then I used this Super 77 spray adhesive, and I sprayed the front of the cardboard. And I let it sit there for a couple minutes. It got a little tacky, and then I flipped it over, stuck it down to the carpet. Then I leaned on it, gave it a bunch of pressure so that it was kind of stick, and great. Okay, so step one is essentially done. Then what I did was, I'll hold this back up, I cut little notches around where each of the brackets go. Mostly because I didn't want to try to poke these through the carpet. So I just cut a little notch out around each and every one, and then sprayed Super 77 adhesive along the trim, you know, again, along that like 1.5 inches. Then I folded over the carpet, okay, I folded over the carpet all the way around, and it was tacky, it's sticky, right? That Super 77 is a spray adhesive. So I stuck it down all the way around. Then after I had it stuck and staying, for good measure, I ran like a 2-inch wide or 1.5 inch wide duct tape strip all the way around. Now the duct tape is really just there for emergency precaution. It's all over the carpet a little bit. It's touching the cardboard. Oh, there. It's touching the cardboard. And in some cases it goes up onto the sound deadener, which is fine. I'm not worried about that. But this is stuck to the cardboard pretty nicely. And there was, I'm gonna step back so you can see a little better. There was a little bit of overspray in some areas under the Super 77, or under the carpet from the Super 77. And so the glue is touching the tape, which is also gonna be fine. I then cut holes for, again, the handles, and I mean, essentially, this one's ready to get snapped on. Super quick process. You know, again, I already had all the material, so it took me maybe 10 minutes to just cut, glue, tape, cut holes, and be done. Poking these things through was pretty easy, and again, that was not necessary. I could have done that after the fact and had them through on this side of the carpet. Again, I just wanted a little bit cleaner look, and I wasn't sure how it was gonna turn out. So I took a shot in the dark and went ahead and did it. Now, the one that I already have completed that I just showed you, the bottom, I guess the bottom rear corner. So when the door is pivoted open, it'd be the corner that's extended out from the car or truck. That corner got a little damaged in shipping. Again, these are just cardboard. So I'll show you on the good one, but it'd be this corner right here. It was kind of crinkled up. And actually this one is too, now that I'm looking at it. It's a little bit crinkled up. And so I feel like that would be seen really obviously if they weren't wrapped. So again, kind of hiding a little bit of cosmetic flaws, probably buying a little bit of life to these things. I don't know, what are your thoughts? Do you guys like that? Do you not? I think it makes it a little more cozy. I don't know, the flat color, or the, you know, it's glossy, I guess, but just like the black color of those door cards with no carpet, it looks a little boring to me now that I have them. Again, when I ordered them out of the catalog, they went with everything else. I mean, the headliner is kind of the same material. What else? The floor kick panels, kind of on either side of the footwell, same thing, same material. I don't have enough carpet to wrap everything, so I'm just gonna do the door cards, at least to start. And if I get the rest of the interior put back together and I don't like it, it's real easy. I either peel it off and then, I mean, I guess I'd have to sand off the Super 77 adhesive, or it's 50 bucks and I just buy a new set. So live and learn. Otherwise, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna do this second door card tonight and just reinstall them tomorrow. Now, I'm gonna step off camera for just 1 second and I'm gonna show you, I had done a project here in the house upstairs, and I have some leftover thin like paneling. Here, I'll show this to you. Oh, actually, I'm gonna show you a small piece just so I can hold it up in front of the camera here. But this thin paneling, and so what I'm gonna do is before I wrap this second one, I have two, actually I have several, but I have bigger square pieces of this paneling. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace one of these door cards out so that I have a template, and I'll, you know, color in the circles so I know where all the markers are, or I've got it marked for all the clips and everything. And then what I can do ultimately is if these ones get wrecked or ruined or I just don't like them, I can always just cut new ones out of wood. Again, this is like leftover project wood, and new door cards online made out of wood. You know, some are painted, some are stained, some are not, some are just raw, but they're not super cheap. I want to say the wooden ones, I think the cheapest set of wood ones that I saw was something like 200 bucks, $199. So I don't know, maybe that's what I do is I just, like I said, trace this out, and it's uniform, it's universal. So I only have to trace one and then they're directional. So, I mean, I can just flip it, and then I've got one for the other direction. So I only need to trace one. And I thought about doing that about midway through. I'd already sprayed the glue and everything on that first one. So I thought, well, shoot, okay, I'm gonna film this video and then I'm gonna draw on one of those panels the tracing of this, just so I have one. And I may cut it out, I may never, but it doesn't hurt to have it. And like I said, it'd be kind of cool to maybe eventually make some wood ones, you know, and then I could stain them to match the flooring in the bed or, you know, whatever. So that's kind of my thought there. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to my project. I did want to share that with you guys while it was fresh and while it was still being worked on. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you like that? Do you not like that? Do you think carpet softens it too much? Do you think it doesn't? I don't know, let me know in the comments. But don't forget to like and subscribe, share this stuff, hit that notification bell, and of course, most importantly, remember, may every investment you make be a good one. Till next time.